Yes, let's go. First, my name. My name is Bail, first name Olivier in French. I am technical specialist in Autodesk, and I based in France. Okay, nice country like Turkey, but nice country for me. Okay, today we deal with Dynamo for engineers. Sorry for people who attended my presentation. I share the same part about introduction of Dynamo. I will tell the same, but at the end you will have some live demo regarding your stuff, like you are an engineers. About me, I am a civil engineer and I work in Autodesk since 8 or 9 years now. And my task in Autodesk, all the time I am in front of customer, big customer or sometimes less bigger. I don't know if it's true. Less bigger is yes, okay. And my job it is to, in front of customer, to demonstrate the powerful of you can accomplish with BIM solution with a complete workflow, starting to reality capture to Stingray, for instance, using Revit, using InfraWorks, using Navisworks. And we've got in France a blog called Village BIM. Subscribe it, you will have amazing stuff inside. A lot of technical articles, and we've got a lot of people who read our articles. Okay. This session, I will talk Dynamo for engineers. During this presentation, we understand what is Dynamo, and show and use this technology. You will see it's very easy to use, and and in front of a customer, it is a game changer. You will see you can accomplish amazing stuff, but you will see. In my presentation, I will make two parts. First, the introduction and why we can use Dynamo. And the second session, it is live demo. And of course, this session, I will orient my example around engineering stuff. Introduction. How many people enjoy spaghettis? All. We are not Italian, but we eat spaghetti. Why I ask this question? Because you will enjoy Dynamo. Because if you create a lot of stuff inside, you could have this kind of diagram. But anyway, don't be afraid. It's not so complicated. Dynamo, that's it. You've got some nodes here, with input and output. And if I talk about like a developer language, it is a function. You see, if y upper than x upper than y, you make something blah 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 blah. It's a function. And nodes are connecting with wires. And of course, here you've got X and Y entry. You need to have two entry, of course. And connecting all nodes with wires, you can create a visual scripting. We call it visual scripting because you don't go inside the matrix. That means you don't create some code as you made, for instance, into your previous life at school, when we make some C++ or this stuff. But using this way to visual scripting is very easy to create quickly something. Okay, Why Dynamo? Dynamo, first, because it's linked with Revit. And Revit, as you know, it is a game changer for BIM workflow. And BIM workflow could create some connection between a lot of software. Of course, our software in Autodesk, link Revit to InfraWorks, link Revit to RoboStructure Analysis, link Revit and others. But you can extend this connection with other software. For instance, Microsoft software like Excel. Of course, Dynamo, it is a data-driven approach. Because data is a part of BIM. You know, you exchange data with different software. When you create something with Dynamo, it is open source. That means you can share it on a special website. I will show you further. And of course, if you are more advanced Dynamo user, you can create your own script using Python language. It's like C++ if you want. And if you create your own packages or your own node, you can share it using a website called Dynamo website. And we call your Dynamo scripting as a package. And there is a big ecosystem around this stuff. I will show you some slides about this. Okay, Dynamo and Dynamo Studio. The purpose of this session is to talk about Dynamo for Revit. Be aware, it already exists, Dynamo Studio. Dynamo for Revit is free. If you buy Revit, Dynamo for Revit is free. But Dynamo Studio is not free. It's a rented solution. And you can connect Dynamo Studio with a lot of software in Autodesk ecosystem, like Revit, Inventor, AutoCAD, 3ds Max, RoboStructure Analysis, Civil 3D, and others. And for instance, you've got these examples, like Revit, Robo, Fusion 360, Inventor, 3ds Max. And what is the purpose of Dynamo Studio? Dynamo Studio, it will be in the center of all this software, and you can exchange between software using Dynamo Studio. Okay. Yes, we talk about ecosystem. That is the ecosystem of Dynamo. You've got Dynamo Package Manager. It is a website. I take this picture in September. As you see, there is a lot of installation of these packages. And you've got about 900 packages already created by other person, not Autodesk guys. It is open source, and you can download it and use it. And why use a package? When you install Dynamo, you will have basic node, basic function. You can do a lot of stuff. I do a lot of stuff with a basic node. But using this package, you can increase your job. And I will show you in my live demonstration some packages. And you will see you will win a lot of time with package. For more advanced users, you can use Python scripting. That means here, if I zoom on this node, you know there is a specific node here. And when you enter into this node, you can create your own code. It is a code object-oriented, like a C++. It's not so hard to use, but you need to have what is the purpose of this programmation. And you've got a lot of stuff, training on web. And I use this kind of training. I do some stuff around this programmation. And of course, when you start to use it, you say, oh yes, I do this, oh, I could be more. And you continue, and your wife calls you, oh, dear, you need to sleep. Oh shit, I forgot. But anyway. Next step, use cases. Okay, the most problem or issue in Dynamo, it is to have the good idea. Because when you don't know the software, Dynamo, or other software, you can't imagine what you can do with. Let's see what you can do. For instance, geometries, strange geometry like stairs or this kind of stuff. Or if you have a lot of repetitive tasks into Revit, you can quickly do this into Dynamo and run the script to make this action into Revit. With Dynamo, you can do some validation. For instance, here you can display the clearance between stairs and floor. Red lines, I mean you crush your head. And here you've got, for instance, the evacuation path analysis. And it's not so hard to do that. Of course, you can create some, you can create some object and connect this object to create, for instance, this bridge or this strange shape. You can create recursive objects. That means you can arrange some object between them. And some reactor object. The proposal reactor object, when you place an object, it can have some reaction between the object in front or behind the object created. That means here you can have this strange shape. I call this strange shape because I am a civil engineer, and at the end you need to put this into the site. It will be difficult to achieve it, but you know. Of course, you can do some simulation with Dynamo. Here you've got a sun radiation analysis. And of course, for engineers and others, you use every day Excel. And you can make some exchanges between Excel and Revit using Dynamo, import or export data. There is some plugin already exists into Revit to export data, Revit to Excel, but these plugins are not so complete. Sometimes they export only a part of data, not all, but using Dynamo you can export what you want, because with Dynamo you can have access to Revit bases. And of course, if you want to enlarge the connection between other software, here you've got Rhino, well known for modelization. And sometimes it's difficult to connect Rhino with Revit because most of the time we import the stat file into Revit. And I don't know if you know, but stat file into Revit is not so easy to use. And using Dynamo to do this operation, using the package Rhino, you can read directly your Rhino file into Dynamo and transform the Rhino file into Dynamo into Revit. And by this way, you will have some native object into Revit. It's more pure than if you import stat file, it's not so pure. Okay, it's my turn. Dynamo in action. Okay. You've got this example because most of them, it is my experiences in front of customer. All the time, when you are in front of customer, he said, oh, Revit can do that? Oh shit, no, he can't do that. But let's see in Dynamo if it is possible. The first example is this, center of gravity. It's very important for engineer, and in Dynamo, we don't have it natively. And I will show you, it's very easy to extract the center of gravity of an object. Let's see. Here, I will open one file. Okay. In this file, I create some strange shape. Not so strange for this shape, but for this shape, for an engineer, it's strange. And in this file, I create a special family. It is a center of gravity. It's an object you can, when I do the calculation of center of gravity, I place this object in center of gravity of the object. It's only an object to see where it is, okay? It is a sphere with inside here the coordinate of the center of gravity, okay? It's generic data here, okay? Okay. After say that, we will run Dynamo. To be aware, for the previous version, the 16 version, you will have Dynamo button into add-in. Now we are in the 17 version, and in add-in you can find Dynamo. Now it is on Manage Table. You will save this time to try to find Dynamo. No. I will start Dynamo. And I start with a blank page, okay? First operation, it is to select the model into Revit. Oh, sorry, I need to show you the global UI of Dynamo. On the left side, you've got libraries with all nodes downloaded into Dynamo. And this part, it is the canvas part. Okay, if you are smart in Dynamo, you can do a right click and type what you want to select. For instance, to use. For instance, if I put select, I will have all function with select name inside. Or you can use the library here, elements, and for instance, you will find select into. Oh, sorry. Oh, into Revit. Oh, selection is here, and you have all selection you can accomplish in Dynamo. For instance, I will select element. You've got two select elements, one in single and one in plural. Plural, that means you can select a lot of elements. I will use this one. And clicking on the select button and into Revit, I click the object. It's done because you've got the ID number element, okay? Now, if I'm not aware what we can do, what I can do with Dynamo, I put here something like center of gravity like this. I will put as you see, you've got centroid. Okay, let's do. If I click here, I've got an issue because as you see, the output of the first node, it is element, and the input of the second node, it is solid. That means it needs a solid. I need to put between both nodes something to transform element into solid. Or you can try to do this. You type solids and see what you can find. Okay. And you will find here solid. And you've got the help on the right side with the input, it is element Perfect. And the output, it is solid. Perfect. That is the node that I need to take. Okay. I will take this. And first, you've got your into Dynamo UI or Canvas, you've got your object. And now, if I connect the solid output to the solid input, bada boom. Here you've got the center of gravity. Only in 3 nodes. 3 nodes. And in Revit, you've got a virtual point. It's not the real point, it is a virtual node. That's why I create a special sphere to put the node, the sphere at the right place. If I open Dynamo, I will use something, a node, that I can input the coordinate position and the family, okay? There is something around family instance, family quelque chose. Let's see. I will type family type, okay? Here you can select your family. And my family into Revit is called CDG, Center of it's in French, Centre de Gravité, in English, Center of Gravity. And I need something to use to input this family into Revit. You've got in Element something called family instance, okay? By coordinate, by point. Let's test by point. Perfect. Here I need the point, the coordinate of the point, and here the family type. Okay. Let's connect this here. Okay. I will tac. Point. Bada boom. You see? So simple. But the hardest part, it is to input the right coordinate here, because now it's a text input into the family. If I click here, you see if I put sorry. Oh, okay. Okay, you can put what you want. The purpose of the next step, it is to write the value given by the node called centroid here into this parameter. We'll open the final file, the final script, call center of gravity. Okay. I put more objects, or more nodes between the creation because you will see further. I will select center of gravity, and now, if I select, I will remove this one. If I select this element, run it. Now I've got the right coordinate, you will see. Okay. What is the tips? The value calculated by Dynamo, it is numbers. And my parameter into Revit, it is text. I need to transform numbers into text. That is the clue. Okay. And now, using this tool, you can select what you want. For instance, this object, and run it. You've got the center of gravity. And if I return into the first object, run it. If I now make automatic calculation, that means every change make calculation. If now I change this object, you've got the center of gravity, calculate. And when you are in front of your customer, you show this, very easy to make, and it's a new feature that he can add into Revit. He said, bingo, I buy it. It's not so simple. Sometimes it's harder, but... Okay, let's go to a second example. It's this. This kind of shape, in Revit, you can make it, but the purpose of this presentation, this example, it is to make the calculation into robust structural analysis. Okay? And you need to have analytical line. And you need to have a real line. Of course, you can do that. I will show you. I will open another file. Okay. Into this file, sorry, not the family, the Revit file. Okay. It's not empty. I will display the family. Okay. It is a generic model here that I create with shape, extrude, and I import it into a Revit project. And I am an engineer. I want to create some intersection between this object with horizontal line and vertical line and put some beams into these intersections. I will open Dynamo. I will open my script. Okay. You see, it's not so big. First, I will, okay. I will do that. Okay. First, I select the face that I want to cut. Here, you've got a slider. Slider, you can change the boundary of this slider, 1 to 20, but if I want to go to 100, I can do this, and you've got steps. Okay. I put this into the code block. Code block, it is a number generation. That means 0 to 1, 0 dot dot 1, that means I want a list started to 0 and finish to 1. And you've got a special sign Twitter, no? Twitter sign, I don't know, with the variable A. And the variable A is changed with this slider. That means if I run the calculation, here you've got the result. You see I go to 0 to 1 and I divide in 9 or 8 because it's 9 minus 1 gap between values. After that, after generate this list of numbers, I create some isoline, surface get isoline. First entry is the surface that I selected before. Position is the surface. 0, it is horizontal. 1, it is vertical. Simple. And parameters, it is the number, the list of numbers that I created. After run this part of this code, you will have this. As you see, it divides all parts by the number that I put here. If I put more, it gives more. Okay? Now we need to put some beams along this line. There is a simple node called here structural frame beam by curve. That means you need to enter curve. Curve it is the intersection between the model and my plans. Okay, the level into Revit, when you design something, you need to have a level reference, sorry, and you need to have what kind of beams that you want to use. And here, be aware, what is read here, it's families that you have into your Revit Gabarit template. If you've got nothing, that means you've got nothing into Revit. You need to add something to have something into Dynamo. Okay, when you have done this, you can run it. And the magic appears. Et voilà. If I turn off the model, the mass model, you've got beams, but you also have structural lines that you can send to robot structural analysis, for instance. And the magic, there is another magic behind. If I return to and I activate the model shape, I will put automatic calculation. Okay, it will do the same thing. But now, if I select the mass model, and if I do some modification, let's take this and put like this, upload into my project. Because I am in automatic calculation, I update my model, and Dynamo run. Et voilà. It's cool, no? And as I said, if you are in front of customer, you just show that. He said, bingo, let's have a deal. Not so easy, but you can have. The third example, it will be a bridge with Excel data connected. A lot of engineers use Excel file to create a lot of stuff. And what's the way to connect this Excel file with Dynamo and Revit also? I will show you the Excel file. As an engineer, I calculate all part of the curve of the bridge. Let's see this. You see, you've got the horizontal shape of the bridge and vertical cutting of the bridge. And I've got calculate all coordinates or to all points. Okay? And I want to import this point into Dynamo to draw the bridge using these points. Okay. I will open I will close it. This. Sorry, when you use Dynamo, you are not obliged. It's more comfortable to have two screens, one for Dynamo, one for Revit. But here I've got only one, and sometimes you've got some mess between windows. Okay, I will open my bridge file. Inside this file, you've got nothing. Not nothing, you've got only one family, parametric family. You've got here. It is an adaptive component. It's a family composed by 8 points. Okay? 8 points. In Dynamo, if I open my script, Okay. You will have all material after the session, no problem. I try to comment what I do inside as this. I group all nodes and so, and you can follow easily what I've done. I hope it's easy to understand what I written here. First, it is the first step. It is to read into the Excel file. Okay. Here you've got a node where I indicate where is my Excel file. Okay. Excel file, read Excel file here. This node, if you change something into Excel, this node updates your changes into Dynamo. Get Excel worksheet by name. Here, of course, you select your Excel file and you select which tab you want to use in Excel. You know Excel, you've got some tabs in the bottom of Excel, and I want to use deck. And if I run it, I can open Excel, you will see. No, it's not the right file. Sorry. Okay. You see deck. Deck is the name of the tab, Excel tab. Okay. If I run Dynamo, I open Excel. Okay. Okay, with a beautiful drawing. And I read all data inside. But data, they are put in strange format. And the next step, it is to orient this format to my position. Because as you saw before, I create a generic model with 8 points. That means in one situation, I've got 4 points. And next step, I will have 4 points to create the volume. Okay? And I use this part here. I use a custom node here, not so complicated, but not so easy to explain you in 2 seconds. But here you've got the part where I arrange this data in the right order to create my volume in the right position. Okay. Here you will have, I've got nothing here because I don't do the calculation, but here I will use not the family by point, I will use adaptive component by point because my cube, it is an adaptive object. And I put points into this node and of course my family. And after that I will put some color. Okay, I will connect. It's already connected. And if I run it, it will read the Excel file and draw in Revit my bridge. And you see now all objects, all parametric objects have different coordinates. And this coordinate is taken from the Excel file. And if you change something in the Excel file, and you put here automatic calculation, it will be automatic update into Revit. Okay? Not so complicated, not so simple, but easy to show. And as I said, you will have all material to show this in front of customer. The last exercise, it is rebar into Revit. You know, in Revit, you can create some rebar, but sometimes it is very boring to create rebar. And what is my goal here is to show you it's very easy to create rebar with Dynamo. Let's see. Okay. I will open my last file. In this file, I create only this kind of volume. How? A little tips for you. When you create a volume into Revit, if you want to embed reinforcement inside, you need to switch on a specific option. Someone have the answer into attendees? No? I give you. When you create an object here, and I will edit this object, in properties here, in properties here, you need to check here if can host rebar. If you uncheck this option, if you try to put rebar on this object, you can't because it's unchecked. Okay? Be aware about this. Okay, let's do with Dynamo rebar. I will open the script. That's all. It's very simple to create, rebar. First, this part, it deals with create the axial line for rebar, only axial. And the second part, it is to put some rebar on these lines, okay? Here, for instance, here, this node called rebar following surface. You need to select the face that you want to put your rebar. The number of curves that you want. I put a slider to show you the connection between Dynamo and Revit. To flip direction of reinforcement, I will show you now because it's easier to show you directly. I will select this face, for instance. Okay, it's done. And I run it. That is the result. As you see, it's good, but not enough because you've got some axial line outside the shape. But you've got some here, first edge and last edge. If I click false, now your line are shaped into the right direction. And here you've got the offset. Offset, it is a cover of reinforcement, okay? You can put more if you want. You run it. I will put in this direction. I will put less. Okay. And you've got the option flip. If I put through, okay. And you can change the number of bar. You see, it's so simple. Now, the next step, it is to put some real reinforcement on these lines. And I can do this here for the curve face here. I don't do that, but I will do now. I will select the face. Okay. The next step, as I said, we need to put some real rebar on this line. I will use a container called rebar container by curve. Of course, you need to input curves that I created before into this node. Inside, you've got other input. For instance, the host element ID. It is the ID of the element. It's a number, if you want. After, the rebar style, standard, the rebar type, you can select what you have in your template. Hook orientation, hook type, and the vector. Vector, it is the direction of your reinforcement. And I use here the normal of the curve. Okay, if you've got a curve, I take the normal. And now, if I run, you've got real reinforcement. If I put, yes. Oh, sorry, I will click here. You see? And if I flip, oh, sorry, bad face. If I select this one, for instance, or other one, okay. And how many people who already use rebar into Revit? There is something boring into Revit because all the time when you've got a view, you need, if you want to have rebar in real shape, you need to go in select rebar, go in view visibility states, and switch on this. And for each view, you need to switch on this option. And good news, in Dynamo, you can switch on by default using this part, rebar container, set solid view, and rebar container, set unobscurate view. Sorry. And by this way, these options are automatically switched on. And that's it. And if you want to do more, you can make some this kind of reinforcement. You see? I do this quickly, but you can make a lot of job with this. Okay. Oh, I will be in time. If you want to have some information, more information about Dynamo, you've got some website, like the official Dynamo website, but you've got some others. For guys, for engineers, I advise you, Revit Beyond BIM is a good blog. You can find a lot of information around the engineering stuff into Dynamo. But you've got, sorry, I can speak because it's finished. Okay. Or, if you are a fan of France, you can follow us into our French blog called Village BIM. You've got a lot of information around Autodesk stuff and around Dynamo because I create a lot of examples. I've got a lot of video. I've got a lot of PPT training inside. You can download it, it's free. If you are more focused on geospatial and civil 3D stuff, you've got other two blogs here. And of course, we are on Facebook and Twitter.